Can you feel the roar building beneath Ford Field? Has Detroit's destiny sparked in the silence of this offseason? Could this be the moment that finally shatters our curse of expectation and sets the stage for a new era of Lions football? The whispers have been growing louder, the murmurs rolling through the windy streets of Motown like a gathering storm ready to explode. Insiders say a seismic shift is in motion, a ripple in the fabric of our defensive backfield that could transform the very identity of this team. Whispers echo through the front office, corridors buzzing, and if this rumor holds true, the entire NFC North may never recover from the shockwaves about to hit. No, this isn't your garden variety signing. This is the kind of move that makes you lean in closer, heart pounding with hope and a little dread, because history tells us every bold step forward comes with its own high stakes and raw, untamed emotion. The Detroit Lions have signed not one, but two cornerbacks, Ness and Hester. And while their names might not be flashing across the headlines just yet, these two could be the unassuming key pieces to Detroit's defensive puzzle. Hester, an undrafted UCLA product with a lineage that links him to Atlanta Falcons legend Devin Hester, brings size and untapped potential. Towering at 6'2" and 198 pounds, Aaron hasn't yet made his mark in a regular season game, watching from the sidelines with the Denver Broncos last year. But the fact that the Lions have snapped him up speaks volumes about their vision. Then there's Ness, a journeyman with a resume that reads like a tour of the NFL's most storied franchises: Cleveland, New York Jets, Seattle, Miami, Washington, St. Louis, Carolina. Sure, his last on-field action dates way back to 2011 with the Rams, appearing in just 4 games and tallying a modest 9 tackles, but the Lions see beyond the stat sheet. These are the pieces of a resilient, experienced background that could inject much-needed depth and grit into the secondary. Why does this redefine everything? Because the Lions have long struggled with consistency and reliability in the defensive backfield, a weakness often exposed in critical moments that haunt us like ghosts of playoff runs that slip through our fingers with heart-wrenching near misses. Remember those gut-wrenching playoff defeats? The rebuilding years that seemed endless, where every offseason was just another drill trying to fix a roster riddled with gaps and uncertainty? And yet, in that whisper of change, in this quiet acquisition of corners who carry stories of perseverance and hunger, there lies the potential for metamorphosis. This could be the flicker of light piercing through the dark clouds of decades-long disappointment, a chance to craft a defense tough enough to withstand the fierce NFC North battles, a defense hungry enough to transform those what-ifs into glorious we-did-it moments. But what if this signing cracks open the locker room chemistry in unexpected ways? What if Hester's youth and Ness's veteran persistence ignite a fire that propels the Lions into the fiercest playoff run since the days Barry Sanders danced through defenses? Could these two quiet additions provide the spark that unleashes a defense no opponent wants to face? A defense that makes Ford Field a fortress once again, echoing with the primal roars of a hungry, revitalized fan base? And yet the stakes are high. Nothing is guaranteed in this relentless grind of professional football. Could these moves be just the prelude to a series of stunning offseason implosions or searing triumphs? Could the gamble on unproven talent and seasoned grit rewrite the Lions' narrative in one bold sweep? And if this domino falls, it might just unleash the wildest Lions offseason in history, cascading into trades, breakout stars, and a craving for redemption that transforms every Sunday into an epic showdown. So hold on tight, Detroit fans, because beneath the calm surface of these understated signings lies a pulse beating with the promise of rebirth, with a tenacity forged from every heartbreak and hope that's come before. The game is coming. The Lions are coming. And this time, the roaring might be louder than anyone dared to imagine. Mash that like button and drop your belief in the comments if you're ready for the Lions to flip the script. Lock your eyes on this moment, Detroit, because this isn't just another offseason transaction. It's the spark before the eruption, the prelude to the storm that might rewrite our history books and drown out a lifetime of heartbreak. Imagine the tremors through the locker room as Hester's fresh legs clash with Ness's battle-scarred grit, a collision of youth and experience that could forge something savage, something unbreakable. What if this defense starts to gel like never before, shutting down the cruel ghosts that have haunted us since that fateful 0-16 season? Picture the echoes of Calvin Johnson's impossibly high grabs and incendiary runs lighting a firestorm on offense, while the secondary becomes a steel trap, forcing turnovers that swing momentum in a heartbeat. We remember the bitter taste of playoff dreams dashed, the wide-open gashes in coverage that hurt so deep against Green Bay and Chicago, and the maddening mistakes like Dan Orlovsky's infamous one-yard line misadventure that still haunt our bones. But what if this time, these new corners, quiet in fame but roaring in determination, close every lane and choke every drive with relentless ferocity? Recall how Jim Caldwell's tenure brought moments of promise before slipping away, the hopes rising in last year's playoff run only to be snuffed out. What if these moves under Dan Campbell's fiery leadership signal a rebirth stronger than ever before? What if the pride of Barry Sanders, that ghostly silhouette still wandering the sidelines, is watching, nodding approval as these Lions learn to fight with a fierceness that echoes decades of Detroit grit? Could it be that Ford Field, that cathedral of countless near misses and eruption of roars, will soon vibrate with a noise so deafening it shakes the foundations of the NFC North? Imagine the Packers cowering at the doorstep, the Vikings doubting their swagger, as our Lions, fueled by this new blood and old wisdom, rip through defenses like a force of nature long denied its due. But here's the rub. Every step into the unknown carries the sting of risk. Will these parts meld into a seamless whole or shatter under the weight of expectations multiplied by generations of fans craving a breakthrough? Could this be the tipping point? The moment where history's pendulum swings from heartbreak to triumph? Or will it unravel, stitching yet another chapter of almost but not quite into the Lions' lore? As the Ford Field lights blaze with the promise of Sunday battles ahead, feel that tension coil deep in your chest, the quiet before the roar that might shake all football to its core. Because the skyline of Detroit is about to witness a football renaissance, or else it'll bear the weight of shattered hopes once again. So steel yourself, pride of Detroit, the war for glory is coming. What will you do when the roar breaks free and the Lions finally unleash their true, untamed power?